Welcome to another episode of Tech Straight. This is an unboxing that I am kind of excited about. This is the Verizon U.S. version of the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. So this is actually going to be my device. Definitely been waiting for this to come out for a while, so pretty happy about it. Figured I would share this with you. So there's been quite a few unboxings of the international version and some of the others, but I figured I would go ahead and share this Verizon release. It just released today, and I figured I'd just do a quick unboxing, show you what you get in the box with the Verizon model, and throw it up on YouTube for you. So here's the paperwork. Go ahead and slide out my personal stuff real quick. And so there's that. That's just some of your regular paperwork. Got the total mobile protection, all that stuff, return labels and whatnot. This tells you a little bit about the total mobile protection equipment insurance that they do through Asurion, which actually is not a bad idea when it comes to Samsung devices, because they do, when it comes to busted screens and stuff like that, the screens tend to be pretty expensive to purchase and replace yourself in comparison to some of the previous like iPhone models and stuff like that. I actually know somebody that replaces iPhone screens quite a bit. So those, you know, with the iPhones, last time I checked, the deductible was like $169 for an iPhone, which sucks. So I personally don't keep insurance on stuff like that, but and they're pretty cheap to fix if you know somebody that works on them. I don't do that personally, but when it comes to Samsung devices, though, it's been my experience when I've checked on that, that the screens and things like that tend to be pretty expensive. So the deductible, though, is pretty cheap. It's only $99. So I think that's pretty cool. I did do an insurance replacement for a lost device, a Note 3. It was only $99 to replace it. So that wasn't bad. That was actually pretty cool. They shipped it to me, got it to me super fast. $99, had a device back, so I was pretty happy. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Definitely recommend that. There is, if you're doing like an early edge or something with Verizon, you know, they want the other phone back and stuff like that. It's also my understanding if you do the early edge and you don't return the device, it's $200 fee charged to your account, according to a couple different people I spoke with. Or if you return a device that they deem as defective in some way, shape, or form, that they're going to keep that device, not give it back to you, and still charge you the $200. So, in some cases, you might be better off to keep it. Now, I'm just going on information that was given to me by a few different customer service reps and techs that I spoke with through Verizon. So, you know, don't just take my word for it. Call and get your own information. All right, so that shipped via FedEx. They actually didn't wait till the shipment date, till the release date to ship it. They shipped it 2 days before, so that I got it today, which was the official Verizon release date, which is the 23rd. All right, so down to the part that you're waiting for, that I've definitely been waiting for, the Verizon Samsung Galaxy Note 4. All right. So you guys might actually hear a little dog barking in the background. That's our little pet outside having a good time. Right here, it's Verizon 4G LTE certified. Very nice box. We got the model and IMEI information here. A few different things like that. On the bottom of the box, you have All this information tells what the box contains, all that good stuff. Pre-installed SIM card, all that. So there you go. Now this does come with a new type of charging system. It's supposed to be faster. I've heard a lot of different specs on that. Like, you know, it'll charge to 50% in 30 minutes, 75 in 30. I've heard a lot of different things, but nonetheless, it is supposed to charge faster. And so yeah, there you have it. That's the back of the box. Pretty nice looking box. A little bit different than the previous Samsung boxes that they had with the little wood grain kind of look to it. All right, so let's get this baby open. So there is that. The phone, I went ahead and got the black. That's just my preference. Let's pull some plastic off. Nice new looking device. Now the thing that I think is really cool about the new Note 4 is the metal framework. As you've probably heard in some of the other unboxings about the metal framework, it definitely, now that I'm actually holding one in my hand, I have to agree that it feels much more like a premium device. And looks like we got a little bit of a camera cover. There we go. Okay. So it still has the leather type finish on the back. So that is pretty nice. I like the feel of this one better than the Note 3. And some people liked the stitching on the Note 3 that was on the edges. I thought it was alright on the black model. I did go have a white model after the insurance replacement I did. I didn't really like the way it looked or felt on the white model. It felt cheaper on the white for some reason. The material did feel different to me. I don't know if they went with some other type of materials when they made the white models, but nonetheless it looked different too. But I do have to agree though that without the stitching it does look more like a premium device to me. So this is definitely nicer looking. And of course on this model you have the Verizon logo there, and got the heart rate monitor like the Galaxy S5. And everything, it looks like the stylus is very similar to the Note 3. Has a ribs type grip all the way up and down the stylus, which is pretty nice. I kind of like the way that feels. But I really am impressed with the fact that Samsung stepped up the game a little bit on the framework of the phone. You know, this is definitely a nice premium feel. Now one of the concerns that I noticed people had with the international model, I can see is also a issue with the U.S. model, is that there seems to be a slight gap in between the frame and the glass of the screen. And so I could see where that might get some dirt and stuff in it, you know, even just from carrying it around in your pocket, even if you're not going to be doing, see there's already a little piece of dust that's got in there just you know, a little bit of fiber from the box most likely. You can see, you probably can't see it as good in the video, but one corner seems to be a little more of a gap than the other. I can actually see that with my eye. So that's, you know, I think they could have done a little better on that. But one thing about this device, though, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other things to make up for that. So I think Samsung a lot of times earns a pass on some things because of so many other features and functions that they throw in. So let's go ahead and take a look at some other things with this device. Let's go ahead and pull the back off. I throw my micro SD in here. The normal stuff you get from Verizon, all the paperwork, and a nice little wrap. Most of this stuff I never really look at, but I'll let you guys take a look real quick. Just kind of flip through stuff. Product safety, warranty information. Most of you are probably like me and toss it aside, wanting to get to the device. So here we have the battery. Alright, so you can see the new Note 4 battery. Ready to go in. The new Note 4. So let's slap the cover back on. Alright, so we got the new USB cable and charger. Now, the interesting thing here is that, like I said, it's supposed to be a better charging system than before. This is actually going to be a 9-volt charging system. It says 9-volt at 1.67 or 5-volt at 2 amp. So if you can see that. So I haven't really looked into that a whole lot, but according to what I've heard and what I've already kind of researched just briefly, this is supposed to be able to charge your phone faster in a shorter amount of time, get you up to a working charge quicker. So that's the new charger. Now, one of the things I thought was kind of funny, to me anyway, was just the fact that on the Note 4 they went back to micro USB instead of the on the S5 and on the Note 3 they had the USB 3.0 type plug-in, the wider USB. I'm guessing they probably did this for compatibility to where you can use a lot more different, a wider variety of chargers, that go with your different devices, which is kind of nice in a way. But the issue I have with this is that I find that devices that use a micro USB tend to wear out charging ports faster, just because it's so small. When you bump it, it just seems so much easier to damage that charging port because it's easier to move it. Just recently, my son's S4 charging port went out, and I know it's because it had been bumped so many times. The thing I liked about the Note 3 and the S5 having that wider USB 3.0 charging port type is that it was just sturdy, and it didn't seem to wiggle around and take as hard of a hit when it would get bumped. It just seemed to take that a lot better. So that's just just my opinion on that. So this does feel pretty sturdy though, but I mean still you could see where that might be a problem later. So there's that. Also, they've got, you know, just like on the previous Note models, you got the replacement tips for your stylus. And it looks like on this, you got two different colors in there. You got gray and you got black. Pretty neat. So that's it for the unboxing. And let's go ahead and we'll turn this thing on. So there we have the Galaxy Note 4. Alright, so we've got the activation part over with, and now we're just going to breeze through the rest of this. I don't really do the Verizon Cloud thing, so we're going to skip that, and we can skip this. We'll do the Google thing here in a minute. And we'll get this part real quick. It's telling me what all I've got done and what I don't. We'll set up the Samsung account later on. And there we have the 4K display. Pretty awesome. And it is definitely a noticeable difference from the Note 3, I can tell you. One concern right off the bat that I see here, showing 1x on my signal. I'm actually running off of a 3G network extender right now, so that's a little concerning. I did have a lot of trouble with my Note 3 signal, so I've been a little concerned that I might have the same trouble with the Note 4. Never had any problems with an S5, so just wondering if they're going to have the same problems with the Note 4 that they had with the Note 3. Used to have to do this all the time, toggle into airplane mode, and let it kill the signal, and then come back from it. And then I would get my 3G or 4G back. So that could be an issue. Also, it could be something pretty simple. I noticed Verizon, I noticed a long time ago, this seems to work better if you take it off global and put it on LTE/CDMA, at least in my area. And even Verizon asked me one day if I had done that. And also allow access for all trips. If you're roaming on other networks, especially in my area, I live in a rural area where we have a kind of a rural type carrier in this area that Verizon partners with. And sometimes if you have this deny data roaming access, you won't be able to access your data on their network. So allow access for all trips. Bam. And that seems to help a lot too with keeping a proper signal type, as well as keeping your data working while you're roaming around. So here is the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 home screen, and I like this addition here. Or well, to me, I guess it's an addition. I was always using launchers and stuff on my Note 3. I noticed this on the S5 too. I used for a little while. The OK Google right there on the main screen. So yeah, OK Google, Samsung Galaxy Note 4. So pretty cool. I like it, and very quick responding. It looks like they've really done a good job with TouchWiz on this. Look how nice and fluid it is. It's really moving quick. You can see that it's keeping right up with me. They've changed the previous magazine to something called Briefing. So it looks pretty nice though. I don't really use this kind of stuff that much. But maybe I will now. It's very fluid and quick. Got a lot of stuff already on it. But I'm really impressed with the fluidity of TouchWiz in this device. Because, you know, one thing about TouchWiz is it's very loaded. You know, it has so many features. A lot of times it would bog down devices, in my opinion. But it doesn't seem to with the Note 4. And the obvious reason is the hardware. You know, the processor and the RAM in this thing is tremendous. A lot of great features in this model. You know, I'm not going to go over all of it because, you know, really this was just to be an unboxing. But I just wanted to give you a little bit more than just a basic unboxing. You know, I wanted to show you the device fully booted up and let you see what it looks like. You know, the battery, you know, get you a good look at it, because this is the Verizon release that just came out today. So it's definitely right off the bat to me looks like a device well worth having. Right now you can get this on Verizon Edge for $29.16 a month. If you're on the 10 gig plan, you get a $25 line discount. So your bill would actually only go up, you know, like $4. So that's pretty sweet. You know, if you don't want to shell out a few hundred to get it on a 2-year contract. And if you are in a contract, if you've been on that contract for a year or so, you could do an early edge, turn your device in, as I said earlier in the video. So, you know, this is actually, if you're in a contract and you've been in it for quite a while, this is still an option for you. So if you're sitting on a Note 3 or S5 or something, S4 or whatever, and you're still under contract and this looks interesting to you, wouldn't hurt to give them a call. You might be able to have this at your doorstep in a day or two, or head down to the Verizon store, because it is officially available. So that's it. If you want to see more, you know, I might do a update in a few days or a week, possibly, if I have time, and show you some more of the features or give you my opinion of having this device after, you know, a few days. My biggest concern is going to be signal, because that was the problem I had with the Note 3. It did fine until they did the update to KitKat. After that, my signal just went downhill completely. It was such a known issue that Verizon actually gave people the option to trade in their Note 3s for S5s, in which at the last little bit there I did that. So, you know, you can see that, you know, oh wow, the S Pen is even more fluid than the Note 3. You know, we definitely liking this device today. Got the awesome metal volume rocker, power button, nice metal design, awesome looking back on there, and very impressed. One thing I would have liked to have seen with the Note 4 though would have been the IP67 rating for dust and water resistance, like the S5. There for a while there was a lot of rumors saying that they were going to have that, so I would have liked to have seen that at least. But, you know, I guess they figured this is a suit and tie phone, that you don't need it, but would have been nice. But anyway, I still am very impressed with the device so far. We'll check it out over the next week or so and maybe post a little bit more, hopefully. So thanks again for watching Tech Straight. All right, so that's it for the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 Verizon Edition unboxing and short quick review. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate that. and hope you enjoyed that. So until next time, always remember, keep your tech straight.